Welcome back for another episode of Branching Out with Sierra. It's hard to believe we are already in season 3. We're in over 100 episodes, and we have a guest returning that's been here several times before. He might be the most engaging guest of all. Yet to be determined. But I want to share what we're talking about today. After talking to over 100 people, I've noticed a lot of different patterns. And one of the things that I've seen is the people who are doing the most meaningful things in life, the things that they're passionate about, aren't really ones that have had it figured out from the very beginning. They don't find themselves doing the thing that they dreamed they were going to do back when they were young. Things have changed and evolved over time. They haven't had it all figured out. And so in today's episode, I'm talking with Jay Foreman about dreamers that do. So welcome back, Jay. Again, what number is this for you?
Oh my gosh, I want to say 3 or 4.
Yeah, I'm sure if we asked Erica, she would know.
I know, and she'd say hers is one more than what mine is. Yeah. I always say we need like the jackets to wear, like the SNL, the Five Timers Club, the hosts that come in. You need jackets for the folks that have been here.
We
I'd
are
say at
in
least 4
season
times.
3. Maybe we should invest in those.
You
This
should.
is the time.
You should.
All right. Well, thanks for the idea. See, I told you are the creative one here.
No, excited to be back here. Always fun being here.
Well, thank you. I want to talk about dreams for a minute. I'm curious about what your dreams were as a kid. What were you looking forward to most in life? What did you want to be when you grew up?
A private investigator.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Magnum PI, Rockford Files, all of those shows growing up. I'm like, these guys have the best life. There was no 9 to 5. They drove sports cars. You know, all the women chased after them. They solved a crime a week and within an hour. I'm like, this is pretty fun stuff. So
what happened to you?
Well, I went to. I know, right? I pursued that dream up through college. I was a criminal justice major. I still, to that point, 20 years old, I'm like, I still want to be a private investigator.
Yeah.
This is cool. And then I think we've told this story before. For whatever reason, criminal justice majors had to take a public speaking class. And I failed public speaking, not once, but twice. I would have failed it a third time. I'm like, I have to get out of this major altogether. So I switched over to psychology just to finish up and get out of school. So there shot my dreams.
Public speaker?
Yeah. Then I'm a public. Yeah, it's God has different plans for us. But so my plans of being a world-class private investigator just went out the window because of speech class.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's funny how that's shifted over time. Do you still have that interest, though?
0%.
Zero?
No, I would have been the world's worst private investigator. It would have been horrible.
I don't know. I feel like I could see it, though.
With the Hawaiian shirt, the Magnum look, the mustache.
Yes. Actually, the Hawaiian shirt reminds me of the 10 rounds.
That's right.
You're in a Hawaiian shirt in the 10 rounds.
Yeah, for no reason. That was the most random thing of all time. You put me in a Hawaiian shirt.
That was a Matt thing, and I'm not sure if he pulled a random picture from your profile or what happened there. But yeah, I thought it looked good. But yeah, that's the one.
That is the one. Maybe he found a picture of me on vacation somewhere wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Who knows?
And thought it was your style. It shows how much he knows about you.
But dreams are cool, and that was my dream then. That's the fun thing about dreams. We always have them. I hope we always have them.
Yeah.
And they're typically evolving into different things with the different stages of our lives. So, and the whole concept of this was, what was the title of this one?
Dreamers that do.
Dreamers that do.
That's a quote from my friend Jay.
Yeah, well, it's from it's an old quote that I stole. It was something. It's part of the quote. The quote was something like, "The world needs dreamers, the world needs doers, but most of all, the world needs dreamers that do."
Oh, I like that. You don't know where that came from?
No, I'll take credit for it now, since we can't figure out where it was from, right? But yeah, so I mean, dreams are fun, but I love that quote because so many people out there just dream, and I'm guilty of that probably more than I should. Dream, but don't do anything about it. Other people just go out there and do, but don't take time to dream or to try to make things a little better or to enhance what they're doing. But when the two come together, when the dreamers actually move forward and take action, I think that's where the magic happens.
Yeah. Well, what do you think stops people from taking the action, taking like the step toward the dream?
You name it, all the typical answers: fear, doubt, paralysis by analysis. You take too long to try to figure something out before you move forward.
Yeah.
So, and everybody's different. Everybody's path forward's different, which makes it fun too. I've always been the kind of person, I like to dream and then we go try something, and I don't think anything has ever worked out in my life the way I thought it would.
Yeah.
But at least it puts me a step further in the process and puts me down somewhat of a different road. But I wouldn't have been there if I hadn't taken that first step.
Yeah. Yeah. So bring me from that moment where you failed, you failed that class to where you are now. What are some of the other dreams you had along the way? Some that you pursued and maybe some that you decided not to?
Well, another one of my dreams I had as a kid, I don't know why I didn't, I don't know why I led with a private investigator. I also wanted to be an author when I was a little kid.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but that was a dream that never left me. And, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, I said, let me just give it a shot here and go out and try to be an author. And so I wanted to write books and do that. And then I had minimal success with writing my first couple books. But then to answer your question, where it takes you in different directions, I found out very quickly that being an author was not paying the bills. Or it was not keeping the lights on. I was enjoying doing it, but it just was not enough to support the family. So then for whatever reason, when you get a couple books under your belt, the title author next to your name, people start asking you to come speak at different places. And I'm at a different point in my life now than I was back in, college. So speaking wasn't as bad anymore. So I started speaking, doing different, engagements. Then all of a sudden, I remember the first time somebody said, will you come speak for us? And I'm like, sure, I've done this for a couple months now. And they're like, what do you charge? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can get paid for going and speaking somewhere? Had no idea. But anyway, so that started a different course. And then started speaking for a while, and then people said, hey, well, we've heard you speak. Would you like to teach something? So I'll land the plane here. I wanted to be an author. That kind of led into speaking, which led into teaching, which the three kind of folded in on each other, and that was a career for about 10 years of my life. But I would have never thought about speaking or teaching had it not been for the writing piece of it. So that's the fun, the momentum of these things kind of build on each other and take you in different directions.
Yeah. So where did banking come in? How did you get involved in banking? Was that a part of a dream?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No. And that was, I feel like I'm giving you more information than you want about my college days, but I
want to know it all.
I failed. Anything having to do with math or finance or statistics, I would take 2 or 3 times. I was the worst at math. So don't ask me why. As soon as I got out of college, I go into a career in banking.
Yeah.
My dad was a banker, so I knew a little bit about it. Felt like maybe a safer occupation. So, and I did that. I worked for Freddie Mac in McLean, Virginia for a while and came back here, worked for First Bank, both great organizations to work for. But I just found out pretty quickly that, it wasn't for me. And the banking world was changing, and I just figured it was time to move on to something else. I realized most things have seasons. Yeah. And I'd always been fascinated with Seinfeld. Like I see Kramer right behind you on the wall there. I was always been fascinated. Of course, I love the sitcom like most everybody else, but I'd always been fascinated with the story of him going out on top.
Okay.
Remember they ended it when they were the number one show. Hey, we want to renew this. We want to keep this going. And I love the story that he said, no, he said, I've seen too many shows, jump the shark and go out on a sour note when people are tired of them. I want to go out on our terms. We want to go out on top, and I'll find something else to do after that. And he did. And I thought that was just a crazy story to have that kind of the bravery to say, hey, the world's our oyster right now. We can do whatever we want, but we're choosing to go in a different direction. We're going to go out on top and then do something else and make it excellent as well.
Yeah, I actually kind of forgot about that. I'm glad that you brought it up, and it makes total sense. So when you were talking about loving Seinfeld and sitcoms, it immediately made me think of you acting and being Newman. I couldn't help but go there. So you've done some acting as well. Was that ever a part of a dream? How did that part come about?
Never. I don't know how that came about. Again, I think a lot of these things come about from simply saying yes when people ask you to do something new. And outside of your comfort zone, those are the best things to say yes to.
Yeah.
So you came to the Seinfeld one. I got to play Newman. Yeah. One of my best friends in the world got to play Kramer. So we had the Merv Griffin set. We get to sit up there and do all that. That was fun. And that was that murder mystery for the Frederick County Educational Foundation. I've been doing that about 7 or 8 years now and playing just different fun characters every year. This year,
right?
We got to dress up as Kiss. Yes, I was Paul Stanley. It was great. But those are fun. And And the first time they asked me to do it, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not an actor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it'll be fun or not. But then I was like, some of the best things that have happened in my life are when I stepped out of my comfort zone and said yes to things. And you and I have both, I've heard you speak on this and I've spoken on it. I said I should probably listen to my own advice, because I always tell people, step out of your comfort zone as often as you can, because only one or two things are going to happen, and they're both beneficial to us. One, we're going to say, my gosh, I like this.
Yeah.
This is a skill set that I enjoy, I want to hone and get better at, and add to my resume and impact other people in a positive way. Or you're going to find out, yikes, this just wasn't for me.
Like disc golf?
Well, no, I love disc. Come on, don't. Thank you for not calling it frisbee golf. You called it the right term, right?
Yeah.
You have my disc golf socks on for this. No, disc golf's a whole nother thing we'll get into.
I was just pointing out that you were never going to be successful with it.
I will never be. No. Oh, you're bringing up that I'm the second worst disc golfer in the world.
That's what I'm doing.
For the record, this is true. I'm the second worst disc golfer in the entire world. I haven't checked it in a while.
Yeah.
I might have dropped to the worst now.
But that's the time to leave? Is that how it works? Drop to the worst and leave?
No, I'd say I don't want to leave at the worst. I want to at least I should get out now that I'm not the worst, right?
If I'm still not the worst. But you enjoy it too much.
I enjoy it, yeah. And it's other thing. You derailed me from what I was going to say. Come on.
I couldn't help it. I was just picturing you out.
I'll get back to the disc golf thing in a second. But I said only one or two things happen. You find out this is for me, or this isn't for me, right? And I never want to do this acting thing again. I never want to, weave baskets underwater, whatever it may be. I never want to do this again, but that's okay, because we have so many things on our trajectory. We're like, you know what? I want to try this. I want to try this. I want to get this job. I want to ask this person out. I want all these things, and they cloud our judgment a lot of the times. They cloud our vision moving forward, the right path. The more of these things we remove, the more of these things we try and say, this isn't for me, that's one less thing, and our vision becomes a lot more clear moving forward in the right direction.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's like your mic drop moment.
You were trying to cut me off with disc golf and all this other stuff.
It was like you prepared that or something. Did you actually prepare for today?
You know that I didn't prepare for this.
You're just that good.
That's not my strong suit.
I think that's really powerful. I was considering purpose in that, right? A lot of people that I come across are very unclear in what their purpose is, and actually ask me, can you help me find my purpose? Which it's a big undertaking.
That is big.
How do you think someone discovers what their purpose in life is?
Wow. That's a hard question.
Do you know
put
yours?
Me on the spot.
Do you feel like you know yours?
I feel like my purpose in life, I feel like, is to pour into other people and try to make them better versions of themselves. Yeah. Faith is very important to me. That's part of my purpose too. To help people that may not know the Lord, to bring that up. One of the best compliments I ever got, and you and I both know when it comes to faith, a lot of times when we're hired to go speak somewhere, faith's off the table. And I understand that, right? We're bringing you in, we're paying you to talk about leadership or communication or whatever the soft skill may be. This is something that not for this. The best compliment I think I've ever gotten in anything was at the Tri-State Summit last year that you were nice enough to bring me in for and be part of your big thing. Somebody talked to me afterwards. I don't know if I'm allowed to say her name or not, but
I don't care.
said afterward, because she's actually one of your speakers this year.
Oh, okay.
Came to me afterwards and asked me, she goes, are you a man of faith? I'm like, yes. And she was like, I got that from what you said. She goes, you didn't say it, but all the principles that you talked about were right there.
There you
and
go.
That's a gift. And
that
I'm like,
is a compliment.
So
Allison Troball, I'll say it.
It was Allison, yes. So I've held on to that for a year. That was just was great. So so that's kind of what I feel my purpose is. But and that will never change. But we're going back to the dreams and the purpose. I think our purpose in life changes over time as well in the different seasons we're in.
Yeah. So going back to trying to find your purpose, how did you discover what yours was?
I think it's just trial and error, getting involved for me personally, getting involved in anything and everything that I can. And then you find, okay, this one resonates with me. This one I could care less. This one, I care about. My heart goes out to this cause.
Like you walk away energized, right?
Exactly.
Rather than drained.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I can make a difference here. I can have that's a big part too. Where can I have the most impact in
Yeah.
what I'm doing?
Yeah.
To help this cause or these people. It's funny you talked about disc golf. Do I care? No.
Yeah.
So
You don't have
do
to
I
be
want to
good at
quit?
that.
No, and I'm not going to be good at it. I'm never going to win a tournament. I'm probably never going to come in anything but last place in a tournament. But I enjoy getting out there. So the purpose to disc golf for me is going out and having fun
Yeah.
and unwinding.
I need to find one of those things because I think I put the pressure in everything that I do to like have to perform and be at my best, and to have the thing and accept like it's not a strength, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Even like guitar, I want to be good at it, but I keep stopping because I'm like, I'm not as good at it. I don't have this like musical ear that people have. I can't just like listen to something and turn around and play it. So then I put it down and get frustrated. But like, can I just play it for enjoyment? Are you giving me permission to just play for enjoyment and not be the best?
Yeah, I'm not giving you permission. Our good buddy John Maxwell is.
Oh,
I'm sure you've heard. He tells a story about playing golf and how frustrating. I'm talking about real golf now, not disc golf, right? And how ball golf, as we call it in the disc golf world. But John Maxwell talks about. You've probably heard the story when he says, he's playing with a buddy and his buddy's getting super frustrated out there and nothing's going right and he's losing his mind. He's like, and he asked him, he said, hey, he says, does your livelihood depend on you being good at golf? He's like, no. And he's like, then why are you worried about this?
Yeah.
There's other things in the world we can worry about. We should concern ourselves with, not something that doesn't really matter in the whole scheme of things like that.
Yeah, it's a good point. So my dream was to be a teacher. And
Which you did.
I did, yes. And so I think that's what made that transition so hard for me when I realized I wasn't going to end up staying in the field of education in the way that I had planned, and I had to shift away. That's why I was like so traumatized by that entire experience. But to me, like it helped me to figure out my purpose based on my strength. Like, what God-given strengths do I have? What are my talents? And then how can I use those talents to impact others, right? And so for me, okay, if it's the skill of educating, whether it's a child, right, or it's sharing, knowledge with someone that's an adult and in a different place in their journey, it doesn't matter who it is. I just like helping people grow. And so my purpose now, I feel like, is expanded to I want to help people grow. It doesn't matter their age. It doesn't have to be as a classroom teacher or a superintendent of schools. It doesn't have to be that way. How can I use the strengths that I gained during that time to be better at what I'm doing today? Yeah. So that's the other thing is I think like as our dreams evolve or our path changes, being able to look back and think, maybe I didn't end up doing that thing forever, but what can I pull from it that makes me better at what I'm doing today? Have you found that, like, looking back at some of the things you did, like how did the world of banking help you today? Well, you have so many great stories, leadership stories that you've been able to pull and share and teach lessons from your time in banking, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's not just banking. I think that's one of the biggest things. I mean, look back on your life, whatever the good, the bad, and the ugly. We can all glean stories from there to share with other people as fun or cautionary tales for the people, but or sometimes they can. I try to intermingle both. I try to make the cautionary tales fun to some degree. But yeah, I mean, we all have the stories, and I think, shame on us if we don't share our past experiences with other people that we might be able to help them.
Yeah,
it's funny when you bring up your career kind of shifting from teaching to what you're doing now. The purpose is still the same. You're still helping people. It reminds me of I'm going to compare you to Superman. You'll love this.
Okay.
It reminds me of Christopher Reeve when he was. I'm a Gen X, so he will always be the real Superman to me. Back from the '80s movies. And I even got to hang out with Dean Cain at Apple Blossom one year, but I still put Christopher Reeves as the main Superman, and he was on top of the world. People Magazine's sexiest man in the world. He had all these new movie deals coming up. Then the story. He was here in Virginia. The equestrian accident, was paralyzed. He could have easily just hung it up and said, "You know what? I'm just going to become a recluse," and that's fine. That's what he would have wanted to do. No one would have blamed him for that. But instead, he said, you know what, I'm in a new situation, a new season of life, but I still want to have an impact on other people.
Yeah.
And he went on and became a huge advocate for stem cell research and for people in the paralysis community, and became a huge spokesperson, talked to Congress, became the face for that entire movement. He wasn't Superman anymore, but he was in a different role. And he talked at the end, he said, I'm having more of an impact here than I ever was over here as Superman, because he chose to stay involved, find a new cause, and to keep moving forward. And you did the exact same thing. So it's so that's me comparing you to Superman here on the podcast.
Thank you. I feel like for the background for this episode, Matt, you should take the picture of Jay and I in our Superman shirt. Remember,
right.
We had matching shirts.
You bought one for me.
Yeah,
yes.
From Child Safe Center race, superhero race.
Yeah.
Use that as the background for this episode. We both get to be Superman.
I love it.
Because you have taken your past experiences and you've been able to transform, and you have a new path now. So I'm trying to remember the last episode that you were on. You had just accepted your position at Laurel Ridge, I believe.
Yeah, I think you were the first one to. It was breaking news.
It was
right
breaking
here.
News.
I just come on.
So
yeah.
how is that going?
It's going great. It's going great.
I hear they're the best coworkers that you've had. Well, I just wonder if you've ever considered me a coworker, because I mean we collaborate together. So are you saying they're better than me? That's what I'm saying. Like, are they better coworkers?
I'm trying to think if they watch this podcast or not. I have to choose my answer. No, I'm going to separate this. I'm going to give you the diplomatic, political answer.
Yes, as
we
you
were
always
never
do.
coworkers.
Oh, okay.
We were never coworkers.
Yeah.
We
What are
worked
we?
together. What are we? We're in the same industry, or we used to be. Not coworkers.
What do you mean we used to be?
Well, now
what is happening right now?
Now I'm selling the training for Laurel Ridge. I'm not actually doing the training anymore.
Okay.
So we were, I don't know, in the same industry. What's what I'm looking for?
We're collaborators.
We're collab. Yeah, it's in the title of your business. You should have come up with that sooner than this.
Well, I wanted you to come up with it.
Sorry. I may not be invited back for my next one now. We were collaborators, leadership collaborators.
So you now have the best coworkers.
Now
in the
best
world,
coworkers.
and you're a great salesperson. I had no concern whatsoever that you would thrive as a salesperson. You have the personality that is perfect to bring your passion and enthusiasm to every conversation.
Well, and you know me, you know my strengths and weaknesses. It's so nice now that I can go out there and mingle and network and sell, and then hand it off to somebody else and do it again. Yeah, let them do the heavy lifting. I get the
you
easy
get to
job.
Have fun.
Yes, yeah, it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So it's fun, but
it's cool how now think about your skill sets from the past are helping you with that today. How can you see that transition?
Yeah, just at all the different. I look back, just say the last 10, 15 years, and all the different hats that I've worn, the fun groups that I get to go be part of and network with, to the days when I was an elected official and I wasn't the most popular guy in the world. So having those conversations, right? So just having all that mixed, learning to deal with different audiences, ones that are not going to agree with you, ones that don't like you right out of the gate, to the ones that you do have fun talking to. All those together help you read the room. I think they help with the emotional intelligence moving forward, understanding other people, understanding how we act or react to other people as well. Just life experiences. It's not rocket science. If it was, I would not be successible in it.
No,
but it's good stuff. But I liken it also to I'm a huge pro wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Right. The pro wrestlers, now I'm seeing all my heroes get old now because I'm getting old too, right? So I'm watching all these folks, and the pro wrestlers, they seem to take one of two routes. They either stay in the business too long, right? And they just, you can tell the time has passed them by, and they're not the same performers they used to be, and it becomes a little sad, right? Yeah. Or you see the ones that decide to get out, kind of like Seinfeld. I'm going out a little ahead of the curve here, and let me go in the back and coach the new generation, and bring up this new folks. Let's impart our wisdom, what we know about this, so that, the new generation is going to be just as successful, or in their minds, we want to make them more successful than we ever were. So, and I love that mindset of the ones that know when it's time to step out of the spotlight and pour into the ones and have that legacy continue.
Yeah, it reminds me of what John Maxwell always says about us being the legs to his legacy. And so he has spent this time pouring into people so they can go out and continue to grow other leaders. And, he's not even the CEO of his own company anymore.
Yeah. Yep.
So it makes me think of that too. So I'm curious, being where you are in your career now, you are an author still. Mm-hmm. You're getting to do all these things that you love, but what are you dreaming about now?
What I'm dreaming about now is it's not as much vocational anymore.
Okay.
What I'm dreaming about now is, at this stage in life, how fun it will be to go on vacation with the family. And now my kids are older and they're dating, so maybe in a couple of years, what it would look like to have their spouses. And if I become a grandfather, at some point, what do these vacations look like? What do these family get-togethers look like? That's the stuff that I'm looking at, looking forward to now, dreaming about now.
Okay, that makes sense. I was thinking about your podcast, so Slice of Life, thinking about how that came to be. Was that something you were invited into and Rich's idea and he came to you? You guys thought up together. Was that a dream for either of you? How did that come to be?
No, it was, that was 100% Rich.
Okay.
He approached me and said, hey, I'm thinking about doing a podcast. And originally I was like, I don't know. It's, there's a lot of podcasts out there. I was like, what are we going to do? He's like, we're just going to talk about the past. You talk about anything 80s, I'll talk about 70s. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. I do that, half the days anyway.
Yeah.
So why not, make it a podcast? So this was, I can't take any credit. This was Rich. He has the equipment. He understands, all the stuff that Matt takes care of here and you. He does all of it. He'll literally, and we only do ours once a month, like yours is once a week, right?
Yeah.
He'll call up 2 days before and say, hey, are you free? He'll call up on a Thursday and say, hey, can we get together Saturday morning? I'm like, okay. And I'll say, what's the topic? And he'll give me a topic, and that's literally it. We both show up and talk for an hour, and people think Rich and I are best buds. We get together once a month for the podcast, and that's about it.
Did you just say you're not best buds?
No,
should I share that with him?
You can. He said it before. He was the first one to put it out there. He was like, people think we're tight. He goes, we were friends, but we do the podcast, and
we barely know each other.
yeah, exactly. We're acquaintances.
Yeah.
We're coworkers.
Well, that's another example of how it's evolved. It's grown so much. You guys have a very successful podcast. I think he's good at putting the numbers out. I tell Matt all the time, we don't put our numbers out. Yeah. We have an issue with that. But you're in, 52 countries or?
Matt, she's just throwing you under the bus here.
Yeah, sorry. Well,
that's nothing new.
Well, do you know your numbers? You don't know your numbers, do you?
Yeah. You're lowballing us. I think we're 53 countries now. Oh. I think that's right.
What are we, 55? Was that what you said the other day, Matt? 55?
I can neither confirm.
I'm pretty sure.
We're in at 56 now.
Oh,
it just
56
came in.
It
just came in. Sorry, it's breaking news.
In 350 some cities.
There are, that is 350 some cities.
I just looked. We're now in 62.
62 countries.
Wow, you might be beating us now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You guys got to step it up more than once a month or maybe talk about your topic 3 days in advance.
Maybe. Yeah. Our next one's going to be cafeteria lunches, by the way.
Oh, that is awesome. Oh, that makes me think of Lunch Lady Land. Do you know this?
Of course.
You guys have to play that.
Yeah. Hoagies and grinders.
Navy beans.
Yeah. Meatloaf sandwich.
Oh my gosh, we're going down a rabbit hole right now.
I'm surprised it took this long to get here.
Yeah, I know, but that's for your podcast. Your podcast is rabbit holes. Mine, we're very
this needs
focused.
to be more professional.
Yes.
Yeah, you knew what you were getting when you brought me on here.
Get it together. But no, I brought up that podcast because I'm sure Rich can convince people to do anything, right? He convinced you to be a part of this, and you probably had no idea it would grow into the size that it is now.
No clue.
Do you know what you guys are going to, are you just going to keep finding these amazing sponsors like Gigs Barbecue?
Love Gigs Barbecue.
They should also sponsor this because I'm promoting them right now.
That's right.
Just saying.
We'll talk to them. We'll talk to Greg.
What are you guys doing to grow the podcast?
It's Rich. You're asking the wrong guy. Me personally, I'm doing nothing.
You really never do the work, do you?
No. we actually had we actually had the Winchester Star called in an interview about our podcast a while back, and it was a 3-way phone call with Brian Bream as the interviewer for the paper, and then Rich and myself. He's like, Jay, whose equipment is this? I'm like, Rich's. He goes, well, who comes up with the ideas? Well, it's Rich. Well, who markets it? Well, it's Rich. And literally at one point, Brian's like, Jay, why are you even on this call? Because we don't need you here. So I was like, you're right. So yeah, that's. I don't know if this was Rich's dream or not, but he just does an amazing job, as you know, at marketing, keeping this going. Spreading positivity. Yeah, so he does a fantastic job with keeping it relevant. He understands the algorithms and stuff that I don't when it comes to social media, those different platforms. So he's done a great job of keeping us out there. We actually missed a month. This is how, lax we are. We missed a month, and we still grew in our numbers. So
that's awesome. So people don't like hearing from you.
That might be it, yeah.
A lot of sponsorships are transactional. Logo placement, quick visibility, and then it's over. That's not what this is. TSLS is part of a year-round leadership ecosystem, which means your brand doesn't just show up for a day. It stays connected to the audience long after the event. If you're thinking strategically about visibility, let's talk. Visit theTSLS.com to learn more. That's theTSLS.com. Have you ever ended a day feeling busy, but not actually accomplished? That's exactly why we created Rooted Focus. It's a simple, structured space where you commit to what matters most, get distraction-free time to work, and then actually follow through. No overthinking, no multitasking, just focused execution. If you've been putting something off, or you just need space to get it done, Rooted Focus might be exactly what you need. You can learn more at SierraLearnership.com. That's SierraLearnership.com. Do you want to accelerate your revenue? Call Work Smarter Digital. Work Smarter Digital helps service-based businesses tighten up their sales process, improve follow-up, and put better systems behind their growth. Because when your sales process is messy, revenue gets messy too. Visit WorkSmarterDigital.com to learn more and book a demo. That's WorkSmarterDigital.com. This segment is brought to you by Work Smarter Digital. Well, I feel like you're just going with the flow with the podcast, which that has been our thing here too. Like we started it, and every other thing that I do, I've got a very specific goal I'm trying to reach. But I'm like, if somebody gets something out of it, it was worth it, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
This is one of those things where I think I'm just letting it evolve on its own, and the pushing myself outside my comfort zone is just doing it.
Yeah,
honestly.
No, and I think podcasts are one of those things where we should hold on to loosely because we talked a little beforehand this morning, the more organic a podcast comes across, the better. Like the more authentic it is. And that's hard if you're too stringent with it and saying, here are the 10 questions we have to get out, come.
Was I supposed to ask you questions today?
I don't know. This is your podcast. I don't know.
Okay.
It's
I thought you were coming prepared.
No. You didn't think I was coming prepared. You knew better. No, but you've done a good job speaking at your podcast, and we talk about folks coming out of their comfort zones. When I first met you at Bonnie Blue all those years ago, your career was already thriving, right? And you're heading in the right direction. But since then, you've continued to add things and from your own words, come out of your comfort zone with the podcast and the leadership summit, and you do all these things. I feel like every month when I stalk you on social media, it's something new that you're doing and trying out there. So, and that's why you're having the success that you're having, is because you're trying these things. And we know not everything that we touch turns to gold, but at least we're moving forward and we're trying those things.
It's like you have to know how long to stick with it, right? And I find that a lot of people just don't stick with it long enough. If, I could have stopped the podcast a few months in when I was like stressed out. I had recorded an episode. We lost the whole episode. I was going to have to re-record it. I was crying like a baby and I didn't want to do it anymore. But like Matt pushed me through it and said, you've committed to this. You need to see it through. And I feel like we have to kind of pull ourselves out of those moments and keep looking ahead and saying, like, what could the purpose of this be? What impact could it have, instead of getting caught up in it not going well at that one moment? You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Because the business, it might have appeared like this to you, but my business has gone up and down the entire, it's almost 6 years now. If I would have just like given up, there were plenty of times I could have given up and called the school system and said, hey, I want to come back, right? And I see that with a lot of business owners, to be honest. I see people that are like, this was a lot harder than I thought. Do you find that it's been easier for you to say yes to things, the hard things, the scary things, the more times you say yes? You see what I'm saying? Like, to me, saying yes to the podcast was a lot easier because I had already done a bunch of really hard things in a row.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
It does, because you build momentum.
Yeah.
Right? Before I answer that, I just want to say, I want to give a shout out to Matt, because you talked about, hey, I want to throw in the towel. Matt's like, no. We will not be, nobody will be successful in life if you don't have folks in your life that are encouraging you along the way. And Matt's a double threat with him. The folks that can encourage and enable us at the same time, even better. But even if it's one or the other, I mean, no one's an island, right? Yeah. And the older I get, the more I do realize that what's in your name, collaboration. I mean, you get it. I'm preaching to the choir here. But I mean, we all need the encouragers, because we all have those dark days where, like, what am I doing here? Is this really worth it or not? But it just takes that one person to come along and give that encouragement, or give that, even if it's a small vote of confidence, to keep us moving forward.
I was going to say, like, we don't really have the confidence when we're doing it. We're just doing it. Like, I didn't have the confidence that I could even host a podcast. I just did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just showed up, and after I showed up enough times, I'm like, okay, I can. Honestly, you inspired me to start doing more improv kind of things instead of like rehearsing everything that I do in life. If I'm going to do a presentation, I build it weeks in advance and I practice it 15 times. You can show up and just be good, right? And so I looked at the podcast as a way of, like, I just need to show up and keep showing up until I can get confident enough to talk without having a script in front of me. And you know what I mean?
Well, it's funny you bring that up, because we were talking about this off camera earlier. You probably didn't think I'd bring it up, but you and I were in a leadership class one time together, and we had to do improv up in front of the class.
We did. And
we were reading our scripts, and then I decided to go off script. And you may have had a few choice words for me under your breath that the rest of the class couldn't hear.
I did.
But
I did.
But then you rolled with the punches and kept the improv going.
It pushed me outside of my comfort zone. It's a perfect example. I was very angry with you in that moment, because you were choosing to make it more difficult for me. You were enjoying your power and authority in that situation.
So great, because I so rarely have that power and authority. I wanted to abuse it while the few minutes that I had it.
Yeah.
So when you talk about moving forward and all of these things, finding your purpose, trying new things, I am a firm believer, and people feel free to push back on this. I believe that everything that we do does serve a purpose, even if it feels like it's a failure at the time, even if it seems mundane. This day came and went, and there were no highs or lows. It was just a day. But everything has a purpose, and if we take time to reflect on that from time to time, we're going to see that purpose will eventually come out. And I was reading a great book by Max Lucado recently, and this whole thing, this what made me think of it. He talked about Moses, when he led the folks out of Egypt. He's like, he was 80 years old when this happened. He's like, had he been 40 years old, yes, this is a logical choice. He's in his prime. He's in shape. He has clout with the royal families there. People look up to him. This would have been the person for the job. Instead, 40 years go by. The guy's in exile. He's old now. And now is the time that his time comes to go lead these folks. It makes no sense. But I'd never realized this part of it. Looking back, they said, by this point, he has a family. He understands family dynamics, which is going to help because he's leading hundreds of families, into the wilderness. He also has been living in exile. He understands the desert. He knows where the water is. He knows where the poisonous snakes are. All of these things. He had been being prepared this entire time for this moment. And I think that's true, maybe not to that grand extent, but all of us, when the time comes for us to do something, we have been prepared for it. Whether we realize it or not, if we just take a moment to say, okay, yes, I'm in a better spot now than I was back then. Or maybe I didn't get the job at that point. Or maybe I didn't, this opportunity slipped past me. Maybe there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Maybe that all builds us up to where I believe it does build us to where we are today, to put us in a position for where we're meant to be, where our true calling is.
I would agree with that. That mindset makes total sense to me. My question about that is, when things aren't going well, you try the thing and it's not going well, how do we know when it's time to pivot and walk away from it, or a time that we have to keep pushing? Because that's something I always struggled with, especially with the business. I mean, when I got down to literally negative balance in all my bank accounts, and I'm like, is this a sign? Like, am I not supposed to be doing this? Am I supposed to be doing something else? I would think I look for a sign in everything.
Yeah.
But I chose to keep pushing during that time. But how did you know when to keep pushing versus pivot?
I think you have to have, we talked earlier about, Matt being an encourager for you. I think we have to have that inner circle of folks around us that we can bounce ideas off of and say, is this worth it? I've exhausted every option here. Or maybe it's just, is this a test? Is this, do I just have to see how badly I want this at this point? And I know I'm not doing a good job answering this question. I think it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think it's soul searching, it's reflection, it's prayer, it's talking to your inner circle, it's figuring these things out. But I don't think there's one magic bullet right answer here. You just have to dig deep and say, okay, is this something? Is this truly my passion? Is it affecting me? Is it affecting other people in a negative way? Maybe. For me, that's always been, is my family starting to be negatively affected by this?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a sign that I should pivot. Or if it's just me being uncomfortable, I think I can get past this.
Yeah.
So that's one of my bigger ones. Is it having a negative impact on more than just me? Just me, I can probably find a way to get past this.
Yeah.
If it's affecting other people, let me think twice. Maybe it's time to pivot, find something else.
That's a good point.
When it is time to pivot, I look at it. What else have I found along this way on this most recent journey that I wouldn't have known about before? Maybe that's where I'm being called to be now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think what I heard when you were saying that was that you were thinking about your values too. You value your family, you're thinking about its impact on your family, and you probably are looking at your other values and how does what I'm doing now align with my values. If it's in alignment, you're going to keep pushing for it, right? But as soon as it falls out of alignment, right? Am I correct?
That was a much more eloquent and succinct way of saying what I was trying to get out. But yes, exactly. Does it align with your values?
Yeah. So when we're talking about dreamers that do, obviously we have people that are listening today. They have a dream in their mind right now, and they might even be questioning whether or not to proceed and pivot and make a change in their life or to keep doing what they're doing today. How would you help them navigate that reflection? Because a lot of people don't slow down enough to give it the thought. They're like, but the easiest thing is just to keep doing what I'm doing, even if I'm not happy. What advice would you give that person that's listening right now? And they're like, do I take the leap? Is it talking to their inner circle, like you've mentioned? Is it looking at their values? If they could do one thing, what should they do?
Take one baby step.
Okay.
If your goal is, I want to write and publish a book, even if it's something as small as, let me Google, how do I publish a book? Just something small, because so often we say, here's my dream, to run that marathon, to be an actor in a movie, whatever the dream may be.
Yeah.
But that's just it. We continue to dream about it. And, I'll get to it next week. And those weeks become months and they become years. And pretty soon we may have a different dream that's passed us by, and shame on us if we've never done a thing to pursue it. Maybe it's not for us, but at least maybe it might be something we say, I want to write a book. I Google it and say, no, you know what? This looks like too much, tedious work I'm not interested in. Then you know what? that dream's off your plate. You can go on to your next dream. But maybe it's something, well, it tells me to, here's how you finish your manuscript, and then you try to find a publisher. Well, guess what? There's your next baby step. Let me start my manuscript. But again, I would say, again, it goes back to the Seinfeld theory too, baby steps, but a baby step each day, having one play off the other one. When you may have heard the story when Seinfeld was younger and a struggling comic trying to make it in New York City, he said, I'm not going to get any better unless I write jokes every day. If I'm not continually honing my craft, I'm not going to move forward in this. So he had a giant old school calendar he put on his wall, and he would write jokes, in the morning, and then he'd take a big red X and put on that day. And he said it would get to the point now, if he would miss a day, it would kill him. I know it would probably bother you too.
Oh, yeah.
His OCD would kick in if there was a date without a red X on it. So he said it became I had to fill in every day. And he's like, that's how I got better was consistency. I did something every day to continue honing my craft. And it's no different whether we're honing a craft or just chasing that dream. What's one small thing I can do today to move me forward? Even if it's just some research, even if it's just calling somebody that's done it before you. I've made a career out of that. Finding folks that have done something I want to do, call them, hey, you don't know me, but my name is Jay, and I can buy you a cup of coffee and ask you some questions. And I have never had somebody say no to me when I've asked those things.
Well, you said yes to me.
I said yes to you. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you did the same thing. So and people, it's it's the big ask. People, believe it or not, people are scared sometimes to call somebody that you've seen do something that you'd like to do, because we put them a little bit up on a pedestal. But when you call them, the secret is they like being called. Somebody has recognized what they have done and their accomplishments. Most people everybody I've met with this, most people want to meet with folks and help them, and help other people succeed. The most successful people I've dealt with in the world are the one they want nothing else but to help other people achieve success as well.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, when it comes down to most people, you ask them what they want to do with their lives, it always comes to helping people and using their skill set to help people in some way.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what we're here to do. But as you were saying that, what I was thinking about was my need to have everything planned out has always been a problem for me, because I wouldn't take that baby step you're talking about, because I felt like I had to have the whole plan before I could figure out what the baby step was.
Yeah.
And I've finally gotten to a point where I've accepted not to look beyond the first 3 steps and say, I don't even have to know what happens out there. I'm just going to focus on these first 3 steps.
Yes.
And I feel like that gives me the momentum that you're talking about. Oh, I've overcome these things. Now I have more information that will guide me in making a decision about what the next steps are, instead of having all 15 at once.
Yeah. Truett Cathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A, I read all his books, and he talks about, he said, it's important. We have to have our year plan, our 3-year plan, our 5-year plan. And he said, and your 15-year plan, but he used to hate the 15-year plan, because he was like, if we start focusing on what's going to happen 15 years from now, we lose sight of all the cool stuff that's happening right in here and now. Now, it's needed, yes, but don't become fixated on that, because a lot can change between now and then, right? Yeah. And when you talked about, just concentrate on your first couple steps instead of the whole thing. I don't know about you. I can look back, every plan that I have ever had for my life, nothing has gone according to plan. It's always everything, no matter how big or how small, has veered off a little bit. Think about just when you go on stage and give a speech.
Oh, yeah.
Is it ever the speech that you had rehearsed?
No, and that's why I get so mad at people that make me submit my PowerPoint in advance. It happened a couple of weeks ago again, and I was like, I'm going to change things in the shower the morning of. It's really hard to, what I mean?
But here you go.
Yeah, here you go. What I say might not match what's on the slides now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't go as planned. It goes better than planned.
Yeah, exactly. I always like that Mark Twain quote. There's 3 kinds of speeches in the world: the speech you prepare for, the speech you give, and the speech you wish you would have given. No. but that's not for us, obviously.
Yeah,
that's
no.
It always goes smoothly. but honestly, some of the you look back, I don't know about you, but some of the speeches where something has gone, awry, or something has just completely gone off the road, or somebody asks a question in the middle of it, throws you off, they have become some of the best ones, because it really becomes even more organic. Yeah. And everyone in the audience, they can pick up on that, and they can sense that, and they can feel, okay, we're in uncharted territory. There's no working with a net now. This person is just answering questions. But I think that, again, that's a microcosm for how we handle ourselves in any agenda item that we want to go forward to. Hold on to it a little more loosely. Understand that life happens.
Yeah.
We'll make mistakes, but that's okay as long as we continue to move forward.
I don't know that I should admit this while we're recording, but that's why I don't have a business plan. Like,
you don't have a business? You of all people?
I don't have a business plan.
Oh my gosh.
I have, and the people that always have conversations about having an exit plan for your business from the beginning, knowing like what's your plan? Are you going to sell it? Are you going to, what are you going to do with it? That's the one thing I refuse to make a plan for, because I'm trying to stay so like fluid and flexible. I didn't know I was going to start a Tri-State Leadership Summit last year, and I didn't know it was going to become what it's becoming this year. And you and I talked about plans for 2027. Like, it's growing and changing. If I had written a business plan, that would have never been in the business plan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I might have turned down opportunities because it didn't feel like it aligned with what was in my plan. Whereas now, where I've stayed like open to things and flexible, I'm like saying yes to that, and it's becoming something big.
Yeah.
So tell me it's okay that I don't have a business plan.
It is okay you don't have a business plan. Okay. I never did either, by the way, but you expect that from me, though.
Oh, yeah, I totally expect it from you.
Wow. But no, I think, that's the way to do it. I mean, everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
We get that. Some people need that. I like that. I'll take it a step further. You were nice enough to the book that I wrote, The Adventures of Mulberry Manor.
Yeah.
Well, the sequel was almost done, coming out later this year,
Yay!
right? But instead of
beach reading,
that's right. I just found that instead of having the outline and knowing here's how it's going to go, I just decided I'm going to try something different, and I'm just going to start writing. In each chapter, I have no idea what's happening next, and it has become the most fun book I have ever written. And it's all coming together, but it's just keeping that open mindset. Any possibility is out there. It is on the table, right? And we can choose from there.
See, I'm learning so much from you. Do you really? No, seriously. Do you know how much you've taught me since I first met you?
Oh, please.
You've taught
It's a two-way street.
You've taught me to wing it.
I don't know if that's a good skill set for you.
I think it is, because I had life planned out. I had every year of my life. I have a 10-year life plan. You have a life plan, but not a business plan? Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, my life isn't my business, okay?
Good. That's a good line. That's a good line.
I'm pretending it's not. It was the right thing to say.
It's your sound bite for this podcast.
We probably have a few good sound bites.
Oh, yeah.
We're starting to lose credibility here from all the lies that I'm hearing.
Whatever. Is Mary Sue out there?
Yes.
Hi, Mary Sue.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hey, Matt, in the business, we call that embellishment, not lies.
I love it. Well, no, seriously, I've learned so much from you because you've taught me to be more flexible and fluid and kind of take things as they come. So thank you for that. And I think that's what's going to help our listeners in this episode. So I'm glad that when I reached out and I didn't know what direction to take the episode, that you came up with this, because I do feel like I meet people every day who question, am I too far into my career, too far into life to make this change? And I'm always like, oh, you can do it at any time. I don't care how old you are. But I feel like they don't understand the how. How do I make the change? How do I make sure I do it in a way it doesn't impact my family negatively? You know what I mean? Like, that's the having it all mapped out. But I think we're telling them that they don't have to have it all mapped out.
No, it's just move forward. Just, create the momentum and go where the journey takes you, as long as it aligns with your values, right?
Which means they have to know their values first.
They have to know their values first. Can you help them with that?
I can. Mary Sue, do you know your values out there?
Yes, I do.
She knows her values and her purpose now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I like
now
it.
she knows that things are in alignment.
There we go.
See, I surround myself with the best of the best. Seriously.
And Rich Weller.
And Rich Weller. Well, I thank you for coming back for another episode. Thanks for helping to kick off. You weren't the kickoff for season 3.
I'll take number 2.
Yeah, you're number 2.
Okay.
See, even like as we're recording this, I need to tell the audience this. Mary Sue is waiting to come in and record episode 1 in season 3 because Jay wasn't good enough to be the kickoff. Even though Jay's recording before Mary Sue, we're flip-flopping the order because you just didn't make the cut. I'm sorry.
I get it. I have a question for Matt real quick. Matt, how much more professional does Sierra get when she has a guest like Mary Sue versus how she's acting now?
I can either confirm or deny.
That's all I needed to hear. Thank you.
I love that I can be myself with you.
You always have the best spin on things. I like that.
Yeah. Thank you for this idea, for coming in today, for being a part of this podcast numerous times now. I'll work on the jacket. We'll get it designed. Maybe you can help with the design of it.
I'm happy to. Happy to. I, in all seriousness, it's an honor to be on this podcast. It's one of my favorite ones. One of the only few ones I listen to. So I appreciate what you do and the impact that you have on the community. And we will also, we've already been in talks about bringing you back as a multiple guest on, because you've been a guest on our podcast as well.
I have.
Right?
I have. We'll say it again. Slice of Life. Where can they find you? Wherever they listen to their podcast.
Wherever. Yeah,
right?
we're on.
He doesn't know.
I don't know. Rich has made sure we're on every outlet out there. So Slice of Life. If you want to look up Sierra's name or thing, you were on talking about school dances back in the day, and you came ultra prepared for that one.
I did. I was probably annoying. I was so prepared. I'm like, but wait, we didn't cover this. That was in my notes here in front of. Like, you don't get. I'm anxious to hear what topic you guys come up with when you give me the call. Just make sure you give me ample notice.
Now, you know what? You've talked about how much you like. We've touched to wing it. We're going to bring you in. Topic unknown.
You know what? Yes.
Challenge accepted?
Challenge accepted.
I love it.
In.
Okay.
I'm in.
Nice.
Thank you for all you do for our community and beyond. You've been a big part of recent events. I've seen you play in KISS. I've seen you, Veterans Dinner, Apple Blossom stuff.
Yep. Jimmy Buffett concert.
You're doing so much.
Fun stuff.
Always fun when it's with you, but thank you for being here.
Thank you.
If your follow-up moves slower than DMV traffic, it may be time for Work Smarter Digital. Work Smarter Digital gives small businesses a fully built, ready-to-run CRM sales system so you can stop wasting months setting up software and start following up tomorrow. This is your sign. Get the CRM. Get the system. Get moving. Visit WorkSmarterDigital.com to learn more and book a demo. That's WorkSmarterDigital.com. You don't need more information. You just need a way to follow through. Aspire to Achieve is a monthly group accountability experience designed to help you stay consistent, raise your standards, and actually execute on what you say matters. Each month, we come together to make clear commitments, talk through challenges, share strategies, and celebrate progress, all in a space that keeps you focused and moving forward. It's simple, it's supportive, and it works. If you've been setting goals but struggling to stay consistent, this might be your next step. Check it out in the show notes or at SierraLearnership.com. That's SierraLearnership.com. If you're considering sending your team to something this year, the question isn't just, will they enjoy it? It's, will it change how they operate when they come back? TSLS is designed for that. Clarity, better decisions, stronger execution. Join us October 14th. Secure your seat at thetsls.com. That's thetsls.com. All right, and thank you for sticking through to the end of that episode. Hopefully we didn't go down too many rabbit holes. I think he's been hanging out with Rich too much, and now he's taking folks on rabbit holes. But my hope for this episode was that you understood that you don't have to have it all figured out. You can take those baby steps that Jay was talking about, even if you just map out the first one or two. Do something each day working toward that dream, that goal of yours. Surround yourself with the people who are going to lift you up and support you along the way, and share those blind spots with you that you might not be seeing as well, bringing some more self-awareness as we talked about emotional intelligence too. As always, we release a new episode every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, so be sure to follow us, subscribe so you get those notifications, and we're always looking for folks to submit any leadership challenges that they're facing. So feel free to send us an email at info@branchingoutpodcast.com. Submit what challenge you're facing so I can talk about those challenges with our guests here on the episode. I'm really excited. In season 3, we have a new sponsor, Work Smarter Digital. So you got to hear from her in episode 1. I know that might be confusing as you're listening because we're recording this in an odd order here today. But Mary Sue from Work Smarter Digital, thank you for your support and for getting even more involved in what we're doing with Tri-State Leadership Summit and here on the podcast. If you're interested in getting involved too, and you feel that your business aligns with what we're doing here, helping to share leadership skills and helping to apply them to everyday life, we'd love to hear from you and get you involved in the podcast as well. Until next time, keep branching out. Before we wrap up today's episode, I want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for choosing to spend your time here. I don't take that lightly, and I'm really grateful you're a part of this community. If something from today's conversation resonated with you, I want to encourage you to do a couple of things. First, take one small step. Not everything, just one. Growth doesn't come from hearing more, it comes from applying what you already know. And second, share this episode with someone who could benefit from it. These conversations are meant to spark growth, and you never know who might need to hear exactly what you just heard. If you haven't already, be sure to follow or subscribe to Branching Out with Sierra so you don't miss future episodes. And if you believe in this mission, helping people apply leadership skills to everyday life, and you're interested in sponsoring the podcast, I'd love to connect. You can find more information in the show notes or reach out directly. Quick note before we close, this podcast is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. While we share insights and experiences to support your growth, it's always important to apply what fits your situation and seek professional guidance when needed. And finally, I want you to hear this, no matter where you are in your journey, whether you are leading a team, growing a business, navigating change, or just trying to show up better each day, you are exactly where you need to be to take your next step. And you have the ability to positively influence others in every interaction you have. I'm rooting for you, I believe in your growth, and I'm here to support you along the way. Thanks for being here.